Motor perception is awesome. It's for students in kindergarten, first and second grade. And what you want to really think about motor is really the big gross motor movements, cross-lateral movements, way to connect growing bodies with growing minds and nervous systems. And it's a way for kids to balance, to tumble, to walk, to roll, to spin, I already said roll, to bounce, and really be in their bodies in ways that kids absolutely, not only do kids love, it really, really helps in their development, both physically, mentally, and their learning development. We have a full-time artist in residence. Sharon Collins was on the screen a little while earlier, and you'll see around school lots of different themed artwork that's come up over the years. One thing that really distinguishes her program from a lot of others I've seen around many schools, is that it is more process and materials based than product based. Their rule in the studio art room is try it, up to 9 tries, and the last one is finish it. They're not ripping up paper and starting again. They're not trying to create the perfect drawing, the perfect piece of clay, the perfect sculpture. What they're really trying to do is expose children to ways that artists use real materials and real processes. For example, you saw in the video students mixing colors in what are ice cube trays. And so they're not really producing anything. At the end of it, they end up dumping their mixtures out, but it's an opportunity for them to really manipulate real artist materials and really grow that way, rather than try and make the perfect picture, the perfect painting, the perfect sculpture. Yards. We've got yards all over the place. Kindergarten yard is going to be the first place kids really get to run around at Lakeshore. And it's really nice that it's separate from the other classes. So we have an opportunity to keep kids safe. Little bodies and big bodies moving at high velocity often don't mix well. So for most of the time, we keep the older students on the upper grade yard. And this slide says 7. There are now 8 gardens all around school. And it's a pretty amazing place that the kids are really intimately connected to. They do a lot of the garden work around school. It is a get your hands in materials, get your hands dirty learning philosophy that really, I think, really helps urban students especially understand where their food comes from, understand nature, understand plants and cycles all around us. But a lot of our kids already said it in the video.
Can I add something about the gardens? The end of the year, they have a salad party. So the kids harvest lettuce and other things that they've grown and eat it. And it got my son actually eating salad. So yay for Lakeshore Gardens.
And the upper grade kids take a plant identification test. They have to identify plants by their Latin names as well as by their common names. And that's a pretty fun opportunities for kids to really sit back and see all they've learned over the years. We have one of the best libraries in the city, in my opinion. I think we have the best librarian anywhere. And it really is the heart of the school, in my opinion. We split the room in half, and half is a traditional book library, and the other half we often have laptop set up, and it's essentially the electronic side of the library. Lunch bunch, again, part of what makes our librarian and our teaching staff awesome, as if the kids didn't tell you enough, is they're really dedicated to our students. A number of our teachers, especially our librarian, for example, runs a lunch bunch where kids can drop in and do stuff at lunch. Do stuff in the library at lunch if maybe running around and playing basketball isn't their thing. We recently redid our cafeteria right before we shut down for COVID, or just as COVID started. So it's a really nice space. But what we have done as a response to COVID safety protocols, we've set up 10 different eating areas around school. So the kids are able to unmask and eat outside. They have to stay in assigned seats. So in the event, we do have to do some contact tracing. And as you can imagine, bringing kids back in person back in the spring, as well as this fall, has presented us with some pretty exciting challenges that we're pretty proud of our ability to manage challenges. It's been quite an exciting last year or so. All right. Yeah, this is actually, please check the photo tour. Perhaps we can drop it in the chat as well. It's a really a fun opportunity for you to see a bit more around school, since seeing as we can't be together in person.